What's up guys, my name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a unisex fragrance. But before we get into the review, I just wanted to say that I've gone back to using my my camera's microphone for this video purely because I accidentally left it on last time and it's now out of battery and I don't have a spare battery for it. And yeah, so we're going to be doing this sans a proper microphone. So if it doesn't sound the best in comparison to some of the other videos, that's why. The fragrance we're going to be looking at today is Natio's Wild Coast. Now, this is a unisex fragrance, and straight off the bat, I'm going to say that this smells pretty similar, although not identical, to CK1. Now, I've been pretty vocal about CK1. Initially, I wasn't the biggest fan of this, but it's grown on me so much. Nowadays, I usually just freshen the room with it. I like it that much. It's like, you wouldn't really go around and spray like Black Orchid, Tom Ford's Black Orchid in your room to just freshen things up a bit. You'd want to wear that one. But CK1 on the other hand, I like it because it's clean, it's fresh, I'm gonna say it's simple, but it's not basic, you know what I mean? It's a great fragrance to just have around. It's unisex, it can be worn by anyone, it can be pulled off in any season. It's probably more suited to the warmer months, but by this point of the game, we all know CK1. Now to get back to Natio's Wild Coast, here's the packaging, information on the back. And I'm just going to read the back of this for you guys. Rich and warm notes of cedarwood and cardamom with a subtle, vibrant hint of citrus. To my nose, Wild Coast smells like beach spray. It's woody, it's not aquatic, but it is definitely beachy. It sort of reminds me of like sea spray as it's coming in from the beach. You know, that really salty, slightly sweet air. The packaging is super basic, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And we've got the batch number, or the batch code there. To start with, Wild Coast doesn't have that hint of muskiness that CK1 does. I like as CK1 dries down, it gets muskier and I would say it leans a touch more masculine, whereas Wild Coast smells unisex throughout the entire fragrance. Yeah, this definitely smells beachy. This is going to be a great fragrance for the hotter months, especially high heat, because it's not cloying, it's not particularly sweet. That citrus is there just to brighten up the opening. And the woodiness, I wouldn't necessarily call cedarwood. I would say it smells more like a beachy driftwood, but to your nose you may pick up more of the cedar aspect of it. But to my nose it smells more like driftwood. Now side by side. In Australia, you can pick up this particular fragrance for about $25. I've seen it around $20 to $30, averaging at about $25. This particular bottle was $22.50, and my partner bought it for both of us to wear because she knows I sort of like these sorts of fragrances. It's funny because a couple of years ago, this would have been the last thing I'd wear, but nowadays, after I shower, pop it on something like this, fantastic. You can't beat smelling fresh and clean straight out of the shower. Especially because a lot of like body washes and soaps, they smell too cloying, too sweet, too sickly. I'd rather just smell fresh and clean and a little beachy. As the fragrance lingers in the air a little bit, you do get a hint of that spice from the cardamom. It is just ever so slightly sweet, but I'd still say the overall fragrance leans way more beachy, way more summery. And where CK1, you can realistically pull it off like all seasons basically, this does err towards the warmer months. but they're pretty similar, and if you can pull off one, you can probably pull off the other. That's what I'd say, at least. Anyway, for $25, as far as unisex fragrances go, you can do a lot worse than this one. And I know I use that phrase quite frequently, but this fragrance itself is pretty good. And for $25, definitely check it out, especially if you like unisex fragrances. Anyway, that's about all I've got to say about Wild Coast for today. I would like to do a full review instead of just one of these first impressions comparison videos, and I'll definitely get around to doing that later on. Until then though, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.